Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. It's quite forhoodling. I should have picked this particular story to go with our theme today of commencement, because the primary reason I went to St. Louis last weekend was to attend the 50th reunion of my college class. And because it was the 50th, all of the 50th reunion people got to participate in the cap and gown ceremony. And I've been looking forward to this for 25 years because I never got to do it the first time around. And so this trip, although it was the culmination, the fulfillment of a long awaited reward, it was also an entire weekend of repeated fruhutilations. I had arranged with my travel buddy who lives up in Santa Cruz to come with me because I had to have a witness. I had to have somebody to take pictures of me to show that it really happened, other than retaining what would be inside my head. And so the first iteration of Verhoedelment came at 6:25 a.m. on Friday morning. I had driven to Lynn's house, got there at 6:20 a.m. We had a shuttle arranged to go to the San Francisco airport. Phone rang at 6:25. The guy driving the shuttle had gotten rear-ended 5 minutes from the house and wasn't going to be able to make it. Rather than tear my hair out, which I don't even have the option to do anymore, I said, that's fine. I had originally been planning on driving up and parking at the airport anyway, because to park for 4 days is not going to be hellaciously expensive. And as it turned out, the shuttle would have cost us $100 each way. The parking and the driving only cost me the cost of half a tank and $100 for the parking for the whole weekend. So I made money. The second bit of Verhoodel was we had allowed enough time for Friday morning rush hour traffic on 280, of which it wasn't any. It was the smoothest sailing through the San Jose Bay Area I've ever had during what's supposed to be a rush hour. So we got to the airport parking at 7 o'clock. We had planned to be there by 8 because the flight left at 10. So we had a great time on the trip. Got on the plane, had to fly to Dallas because you can't get anywhere in the US anymore without going through at least 2 stops. So we flew to Dallas, flew back from there up to St. Louis, got in 8:30, something like that, rented the car at Hertz, drove to the hotel. It was smooth. It was wonderful. The next morning we got up, we went down to the campus, signed in, we had a wonderful brunch. We had a couple, in fact, before the brunch, we had a tour of campus. A lot of it was old hat to me, but they have made massive changes to the campus. The dorms have been almost completely replaced. There's 1 or perhaps 2 of the original buildings that are still there. What used to be the parking lot, a huge parking lot at the east end of campus, is now mostly grassy area and buildings that didn't used to be there. It's really interesting. So we walked around campus. We had a wonderful lunch. I got to meet a lot of people that I hadn't seen in years. And it's interesting because almost everybody remembered me, of all places, from a place called Bear's Den. It was the lounge, the snack bar in the lounge. There was a little bit of, a deli counter, with the grill and everything. And so they remember me flipping hamburgers and making shakes and things for them. And it was, oh yeah, I remember you. It was great. It was a wonderful time. That evening, we had an amazing dinner at the St. Louis Art Museum in Forest Park. they had an exhibit going on of, who's the guy that did the water lilies? Monet. They had Monet and a female artist, an impressionist, who actually was a good friend of my partner's mom. And so that was a real reunion for her. Sunday morning, we woke up, came down from the hotel, and discovered that somebody had broken into the rental car, attempted to steal it. They ripped the cowling off the steering wheel, immobilized the car completely. I put the key in, it wouldn't even turn because of the damage to the underside. Went to breakfast, spent 25 minutes on hold with Hearst's National Emergency Road Service number. Finally got somebody. They never could get a hold of the local Hearst rental company. And 36 hours later, I still hadn't heard from them. I had no car. We had to get around with Uber and various and rides from Good Samaritans, but it worked out fine. I had another choice. We could either weep and gnash, much like weeping and gnashing of teeth, or we could just make lemonade out of the lemons. We chose to do the latter. We had a great time. The medallion ceremony was particularly emotional for me because it was a fruition of something I've been waiting for forever. Cap and gown, they put medallions on us. And then Monday morning, the commencement itself, we got there, they went through, they moved it from the quadrangle over to the big field, the athletic field. There were thousands of people there. The commencement speaker was Sterling K. Brown, the actor from This Is Us. And along the way, they gave out several honorary awards. And the last one they gave was an honorary Doctor of Science to none other than Anthony Fauci. He was there. It was absolute surprise, totally astonishing. So in all, it was a wonderful weekend. I wish I could have more weekends that were as great as that. Mr. Thompson.